Hello, we're the Cryptid Code. We're your hosts, Harmon,
Kenzie,
JP,
and we like to talk about cryptids and aliens and generally anything spooky.
and we cuss a lot.
Indeed. So, you have the cryptid today, Jake?
I do indeed. We're going to be talking about the Dwayyo, which, spoiler alert, nobody knows where that name comes from.
Oh.
Yeah. So, don't ask. So, the Dwayyo is a wolf man, not a werewolf. Which, if nobody knows the difference, werewolves turn into a wolf, they start as human, they go back and forth. Wolf man is always the same. It's always a wolf creature.
Is he very hairy?
Usually, yeah. I'm gonna guess
Does he have
someone...
like a wolf face? Like what?
Yeah, he's like a... Yeah.
So
like a snout.
He's got a snout, but he's a human-ish
Yeah.
figure.
Yeah, it's like...
Some kind of amalgamation of wolf and man?
Yes, Harmon.
My God.
You're catching on so quickly. I'm so impressed. So the Dwayyo actually lives fairly close to us because it is the enemy of the Snallygaster. It lives in Maryland, and it's less isolated than the Snallygaster. Where Snallygaster is in one place, Dwayyo kind of moves around.
We're bringing back the blood feud?
Yes.
Blood
continuing
feud.
The story of their battle. Also, spoiler alert, still don't know when they fight or why they fight.
I
They
think
just hate each other.
I think they just meet up, beat the fuck out of each other.
And they both have a mom named Martha, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what if their mom is the same mom?
We're going to get to
They're
that.
very
okay.
different husbands.
We're going to get to that.
Okay.
So, the first account detailing the Dwayyo was in a 1965 newspaper in the Frederick News Post. So, this gentleman, who went by the alias John Becker, not his real name, he lived near Gambrel State Park, and he reported that he heard a noise in his backyard, so he walked out there to investigate, as you do.
Well, as other people do.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wouldn't go investigate.
I personally would just not. Yeah, he lived near Gambrel State Park, and he heard a noise, walked into his backyard, and he didn't really see anything. He started looking around, and he got bored, I guess. So he walked back in, and then as soon as he started walking back in, something rushed at him from the woods, and he said that it was about as big as a bear, long black hair, a bushy tail, and it growled like a wolf or a dog in anger. And when it got close to him, it stood up and attacked him. Then, supposedly, he just beat the shit out of it.
What?
Yeah, just bare knuckle boxed it, beat the hell out of it, and then it ran away.
Wait, so this man saw a wolf man, and instead of running away, he proceeded to do the Henry Cavill arm reload and kick its ass.
Yes.
Well, I will say, whenever you have something that large, like rushing you, like with your back turned, I don't think you'll be able to outrun it. So,
I mean, I guess his only option was to just beat the shit out of it.
Or die.
But it's just impressive that he did.
And I'd like to make this point. He wins this kind of fight with a giant wolf man, but decides to stay anonymous.
Yes, he doesn't need people to know.
But I mean, that's such an impressive feat. Like, come on, I want that by my name.
It's nice knowing that we now know all the weaknesses of a werewolf: silver, fire, and these fucking hands.
Which, if you think about it, if he beat the Dwayyo, he could probably beat the shit out of Snallygaster too.
That is correct.
I feel like Snallygaster is just a little pussy anyways. I feel like it'd be very easy.
So, after John Becker's story about how he just threw hands with a wolfman, a bunch of other people obviously wanted to hop on the train, and a bunch of other weird reports came out. Some of them aren't super impressive, like some hunters saw a black beast roam in the woods, probably a bear. I looked over my notes recently, so this is kind of funny to me. Some fucking Karen reported that her daughter was crying and had anxiety because of the Dwayyo so much, so people just need to shut the fuck up about it. I'm like, what the hell?
With the manager?
Yes, she wanted to find the Dwayyo and speak with its manager and back. You need to stop.
Did she leave a Yelp review or something?
The best she could in 1965. Yes.
Because they're quite magic.
That actually brings me to something. So this is the first report of the Dwayyo.
Yes.
In 1965?
Yes.
But didn't the Snallygaster die in the 1920s?
Yeah.
But
so how is there a beef?
No. Remember the Snallygaster, apparently before it dies, lays an egg.
Yeah, so the big Snallygaster, the one that decided it was going to fucking make a name for itself, that one died.
Yeah.
But it did lay an egg. And as we know, could possibly be at West Virginia University.
True. For long-time listeners.
Yeah. Yep. So, and then another lady reported she's kept hearing cries that sound like a baby. I don't know how that reports to the Dwayyo, but she thought it did.
She wanted to be included.
And then my favorite one is this guy who just so nonchalantly, he was quoted as saying, "My dog started chasing something, and I saw it was black, but I didn't think too much of it. Believing it was a dog or maybe even a bear.
But it was Shia LaBeouf."
Yeah. However, after the newspaper article, I'm not too sure it wasn't a Dwayyo. It trotted like a horse. I don't know what it was, but I'm going to look for it this week. So this dude, I don't know what fucking drugs he was on, that he went every direction he could.
He just walked into a newspaper office, rambled, and then left.
And somebody fucking dictated it. They're like, yeah, this is good stuff.
But real quick, can we talk about how this man was like, yeah, my dog was chasing something. It was pretty big. Could have been a bear. I've been like, what, you're gonna go get your dog? Like, why would you let it chase that?
Well,
like,
it's weird that then he noted that, yeah, it trotted like a horse. Like, you think a bear's gonna do that? Like, what the hell?
At the end of the day, if you don't know what it is, it's a bear. I feel like that's the moral of the story in every single cryptid that we do.
Another interesting claim was that the Snallygaster eggs were supposed to hatch soon. I don't know how this man knew that, but he did. And apparently the Dwayyo was actually a Snallygaster. So maybe it's just sibling beef.
Wait, repeat that whole thing.
So this dude, all these people are anonymous, by the way. Everybody who reported the Dwayyo at any point is anonymous.
So
so
it could
credible.
Just be one person.
Possibly. It could all be John Becker. A guy claimed that the Snallygaster eggs were supposed to hatch soon. Don't know how he knew those timetables, but he did. And that the Dwayyo was actually a Snallygaster.
But they don't see the connection. Dragon, werewolf.
Yeah.
And they don't. Yeah, I was supposed to say it doesn't correlate whatsoever. The only thing that they share is like the same mother or some shit.
Same mom, different dad.
Yeah.
That's what it is. The original Snallygaster, made with a Snallygaster and then fucked a wolf. And got no qualities of the Snallygaster.
I think Darwin is spinning in his grave right now.
Yeah, I would be too.
I don't know how they got here.
How did we get here?
I don't know.
What is this? The 6th episode? What are we doing with our lives?
I don't know. The Dwayyo didn't get quite as much fame as the Snallygaster did with its almost being hunted by Theodore Roosevelt. However, people did organize a hunt to go find it, and then nobody showed up.
Wait. They just have a Facebook group. Let's raid the Dwayyo. He can't stop all of us.
My god!
And then nobody came. However, the disturbing part is that a news article that was there, like a newspaper that was there, said that they saw a pickup truck full of boys with helmets and machetes. However, they weren't sure if they were going after the Dwayyo.
But if they're not, I feel like we should be concerned.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if I saw a truck full of guys with machetes and helmets, I'd be really worried.
Not guns, they're honorable fighters.
Yeah, no, they're going to cut it down.
Fight.
I don't know where they were going, but no one ever followed up on it. So.
It's John Becker's kids.
Wow, not doing them proud. They're using machetes. Got a bare knuckle. And then after that, after the hunt,
the non-existent
after the hunt, commotion about it kind of died down until the next summer, until a man by the alias of Jim A. He couldn't even give himself a last name like John Becker did. He just went by Jim A.
Jim A.
He said he was hiking on the outskirts of Gambrel State Park which is the same place John Becker was. They could be the same person.
Only one person is allowed in a forest at one time.
Wouldn't it be funny if John Becker was just he was the Dwayyo?
And he's just covering his tracks?
Yeah. Maybe he is a werewolf. Maybe he's not a wolf man. Maybe. It's possible.
It's not.
But
go off.
So Jim A described it as a shaggy two-legged animal about the size of a deer, so a lot smaller now.
They only had 2 legs.
Well, I believe he meant it had like 2 back legs, but it still had like 4 legs that used his arms.
She was so excited. She thought it was a Charles Millmont.
He's so ready, like they're all related. They're all big. They're all Bigfoot.
And all Bigfoots are bears.
He also knew that had a triangle-shaped head with pointed ears and chin.
That's a little
I
odd.
assume that he didn't mean like
a little triangle,
like Tomb Raider boobs triangle. But in the same sense, I hope that's what he meant. 'Cause that's fucking funny. And so this Dwayyo, if it's not the same one, is a little more of a bitch because he approached it. It screamed, and then it ran away.
Oh my god, sheep squatch.
Well, wait. If the one, attacked him, and this one ran, could there be more than one?
Possibly. I mean, there's more than one Snallygaster. It could be a Snallygaster.
This sounds like it's a young Dwayyo, because, maybe this is, a youngling on its own, and that's why it's a little less confident.
Yeah, I mean, it could be this is a year apart, the one with John Becker and Jim A. It could be the one that John Becker beat the shit out of.
And now it lost his confidence.
Yeah, well, I was going to say it could be its kid.
Oh,
and now it's like, don't go near people.
It's the first,
humans will hurt you.
I attacked one person, and he kicked my ass. Don't
be like me.
Learn from my mistake.
The weird thing about when it ran away, though, and I don't really understand it, is that when it ran away, apparently its legs stuck out from the side, and that's how it moved. Like a crab, if a crab could walk forward.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah. So it just screeched at him and just crab walked backwards.
Wait, it fucking MC Hammer danced away?
Yes. But imagine if he didn't go side to side like that, he just walked backwards.
It's very problematic, my guy. I'm actually concerned about this wolf man. Is he okay?
And then he wasn't seen again for about 10 years.
He was so scared.
It scared him so much he just couldn't. He just couldn't anymore. So this one, the last 2 are not quite as exciting as the first 2. But 2 friends were just driving down Route 77 and it just ran in front of their car. And it's weird because they pretty much described the same way the last 2 did, except its legs were like a kangaroo and they were a different fur pattern than the upper body. So the top of the body was the wolf, the bottom part was striped.
So it had pants on?
It could be. Yeah. It could be that it's getting civilized. It took Tez 10 years to take classes.
Well, no, there's 2 possibilities here. Either it's a werewolf wearing kangaroo pants, or it's a kangaroo wearing half a wolfman costume. Missing his partner somewhere.
But that was all they described. They didn't say they hit it. They just said it ran in front of the car. They noted it. I don't know how they took so much detail when it just darted past. But,
Can you imagine showing up to the cops and telling them that?
Yeah, again, no names.
Yeah.
Neither of them gave their names.
John Becker! We know it's you!
At this point, you can't blame people when they don't, give their names. Because honestly, at the end of the day, you have to consider, they're probably fucking, no one's gonna take them seriously.
John Becker is just faking it because he wants his grandchildren to spend time with him.
He's
I need help! The Dwayyo's back!
They're all one big family. The lady who was Karen complaining to see the Dwyyo's manager, that was just his wife.
This guy's the machete. His kids.
They're all. It's
He
all
just
one
wants
big
them to
family.
visit again. That's why it's every year.
10 years, this past sighting, it was his grandkids, and it was just a whole family thing.
Yeah,
It's a bonding experience.
It's like a get together. It's like a picnic.
Yeah.
Yeah, except they go hunt down those poor wolfman.
He's not actually causing any problems.
Yeah, the only thing he tried to attack one person and he got his ass beat. I think he learned his lesson.
Now he doesn't cause any problems.
And this family, like literally every couple of years, they come together. It's like a family reunion, but it's just to keep the wolfman alive.
Can we take a step back for a second? So this thing rivals the Snallygaster, which I assume we're going to get into at some point.
Sure.
But the Snallygaster was a hard motherfucker. Like, it murdered people.
It carried people. Like
It drank blood.
Yeah.
This one attacked one person, got punched, and then spent the rest of the year literally crying.
Yeah. These two are somehow on the same level. The literal vampire, dragon, and a shitty wolf man who can't walk right.
Are we sure this isn't Sheep Squatch?
It could be. It very well could be. Maybe he broke a leg or something.
This episode is full of in-jokes.
You gotta watch all the other episodes to understand.
Sorry, people, who this is your first episode. R.I.P. you.
And the last encounter I wish was something more. I wish it ended on a good note, but it doesn't. All it was is 3 years later, in 1979, two park rangers in Cunningham Falls, another place in Maryland, just noted, they're like, yeah, we saw a large hairy creature running on two legs.
Okay, so they might have seen, like, someone's alcoholic uncle.
Yeah, that was it. That's all it said. No name. It could be the two friends again that were driving.
And they're cops now.
Yeah, they became park rangers. That's it. That's the Dwayyo story.
So where does the Snallygaster come in?
He doesn't.
So why do people say they fight?
I don't know, Armin.
They don't
He
really
didn't look it up.
I did. And nobody has an answer.
Wait, so hear me out. So, somehow these two have a feud.
Yes.
But, not only are they in different time periods, one died in the 20s, the other lived in the 60s, but they're also not in the same fucking area.
Yeah, well, they're both in Maryland. And
Okay, just so in time, they share a state.
The Dwayyo just likes to move around, whereas the Snallygaster is like, no, I'm going to stay in Middletown.
But, and again, we talked about how the Snallygaster lays eggs, so they could have come across each other at some point, but it wouldn't have been the original Snallygaster. It could have been, like, an offspring.
But they made it sound like the Snallygaster Dwayyo feud was like a big part of their legend, and that most of the Snallygaster's legend is before the Dwayyo was even cited.
Well, I feel like it's one of those things where somebody said it, and now everybody just accepts it. But nobody
I was like
reason.
really hopeful.
Like currency.
I just was hopeful that we were gonna get like some kind of witness seeing like the two of them like going at each other.
There's gotta be some epic like dragon vampire versus Wolfman battle,
or any physical evidence, or just anything.
Yeah, like they just don't. They just live in the same area.
I'm disappointed.
I'm disappointed too. Now what do we think about the Dwayyo?
This episode is barely making it.
I know. Don't have enough, Harmon.
Is there any like pop culture references?
No, nobody cares about this thing except me because I wanted to finish the story. Nobody cares about this poor wolf man except John Becker who beat the shit out of it. Not even the Snallygaster gives a shit enough to fucking actually fight it.
To finish him off. He lets him live in shame.
Honestly, this is a very shameful cryptid.
It is. I mean, this is honestly, I think this is worse than the fucking Sheep Squatch. Like, he doesn't do anything.
Oh my god.
At least Sheep Squatch had the Kentucky incident where he attacked people.
Which, he probably wasn't Sheep Squatch, but at least he got horny and like tried to hump something. The Dwayyo maybe had a kid.
This episode is a fucking train wreck.
Yeah.
So I will say this on how I feel about the Dwayyo. Personally, I think it's a load of horse shit.
Oh, 100%.
But, like, if it was real, it would be... I would bully it.
I would too. If I meant to say, I'd be like, shut the fuck up, you wolf man.
Your weird triangle kangaroo leg
You
habit.
can't even walk right.
Well, I like to think I'm a pretty open-minded person. And I tend to look for, like, not concrete proof that these things exist, but proof that something weird is going on. But all we have is no physical evidence and anonymous witnesses.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
I'm gonna have to say, Dwyer's probably not real.
No.
But, and I just want to point out, too, the things that they're describing, like, either sound like they're straight out of, like, a video game, or are bears.
Yeah. Yeah. The only one that was weird was the Jim A one, because it walked funny. And he noted that it had a triangle head. I don't know why he didn't just say he had a wolf head, because I've heard people call wolf heads triangular. But why was he like triangle? That's what,
He looked
He's
at
never
it, he
seen a
was
wolf
like,
before.
that's what it is.
triangle. I just have this picture in my head of, like, pyramid head. And that's what I think.
He was auditioning for Monty Python in the Ministry of Silly Walks.
Oh my god.
That's a little shout out for all you classic British humor fans.
You flying circus people.
All two of
All the
you.
people who did theater in high school.
Oh, we watched too much Monty Python. But yeah, Dwayyo was a little horseshit. Their fight's not even real. I mean, what?
This is the most disappointing blood feud.
Yeah. I mean, we knew going in the Snallygaster is bullshit, too.
But it was also cool.
Yeah, the Snallygaster did stuff.
Yeah, like, picked up people, drank their blood. Like, goddamn.
He was short, too.
He's metal.
Because he only did, like, a couple things. But he fucking killed people.
His short existence was legendary.
Yeah. Plus, he had an ice cream entrepreneur.
The Dwayyo did nothing.
Yeah, the Dwayyo had some random dude who beat him up. This was a sad creature, man.
This was interesting. Very informative. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. So now you know that all of the Maryland monsters are bullshit.
Is that it?
I don't.
Yeah, so you had something to add, Armin?
I don't.
No, yeah, I think that's it. So, official verdict, everybody.
Our viewers are so glad they waited 2 months for this.
Official.
2 months, disappointment.
I'm gonna say not real.
I'm gonna go with not really either.
Not real. If anybody out there thinks this is real,
Send us pictures.
yeah, you know
It's
what?
clearly easy enough.
Prove it to us.
It's not scary. You can just walk up to it, slap it if it gets crabby. So
Yeah.
like,
Literally.
If it's a wolf, be scared. But it's a wolf and it stands up, punch it.
what if it's just a wolf trying to walk, and that's why I can't fight too good?
I had that
Evolution.
thought. I was like, what if it just like learned to walk like that?
and that's why every time it gets hit, it just falls over.
Yeah.
But can we also talk about there are stories of like children being like raised by wolves and then like being covered in hair.
That's that's kind of interesting theory. But why is a crab walking?
Because it's like a human that's covered in hair that was raised with wolves and like has the capability of walking on its back legs, but it's
And it
used
has
to walking
kangaroo
on
pants.
Well, I was
four.
just saying, when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Of like why the pants, why the legs are different.
But
On
the
the one-
triangle face.
Maybe he had a mask. I don't know.
mask.
Where are we gonna mask?
Maybe
Did you
like-
get the Spirit of Halloween, Jake? The one they have in the middle of the forest.
Maybe like, where's a wolf skull? I don't know. He's raised by wolves.
Oh, true.
knows?
It's the alpha wolf now, so it took the
Yeah.
other one.
It kills
skull.
Jack.
Could you imagine being his wolf sibling, and when your mom dies, he wears its skull? And it's like, okay, big bro, you do you.
Whoa.
See, and I feel like, but if it was wearing a skull, I feel like that would be more notable
It would
than
be white, right?
than like.
Who knows?
Well, like yeah, bones. Like it would be like this bright white thing that this person would be wearing, and instead of being like he has a triangular face, it literally could like you could just be like it's wearing a wolf skull. It's pretty weird.
Who knows, man?
Like what the fuck?
I mean, I don't believe it was a fucking wolf child, but
I mean, it's an interesting theory.
I like the idea.
Well, have we reached the end of this hook?
Let's see, unless y'all have something else to add.
I have nothing to add for this sad cryptid.
The best part about this was the guy who just didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. No, not John Becker.
The one that talked in runoff
The
sentences.
dude who didn't have an alias. He just walked into the fucking news station and it was like, yeah, so maybe I saw it, maybe I didn't.
This has been the Cryptid Code. Stay spooky out there.